So for my final project, I chose teaching with care and compassion. My specific question was, what ways can we show that we care as teachers and why is it so important? The reason I chose this topic is because I think it's one of the most important topics we can stress as future teachers because you never really know what kind of difference you can make in a child's life. My sources are all websites and databases because they're easily accessible to me. 3+ sources were from Edutopia because the first source is the one we were given for the weekly reading, and when I explored the website a little bit more, I found a bunch more that were beneficial to my project. And I say 3+ because I'm still looking and I keep finding more topics that are really helpful for me. So another source was published by UC Berkeley and another one was Psychology Today. And it's an article from that website, so I know they're reliable sources and they're not just blogs or whatever. So the source topics are the one we were given, which is compassion as a classroom management tool. The next one is the value of compassion in teaching, compassion in the classroom, empathy in the classroom, why should I care, 4 ways teachers can show they care, and there's a bunch more. So for my project organization, I'll just kind of go through my outline a little bit. So for the opening, I was thinking of talking about how compassion may be an overlooked type of thing, but it's extremely important and maybe people don't really realize that. So I'm sharing personal experiences and connections to give examples of how it made a difference in my personal education. I think that actually helps a lot in writing and to don't really stress the idea. I'm opening ideas to lead to the body paragraphs to come. And then I'm also sharing why I chose this topic and my future goals. So sort of how I opened this. So the first body paragraph is the first source. So I'm breaking it down to using a source per body paragraph and talking about those individually. So the first one is compassion as a classroom management tool and talking about how it can really come in handy and it might help the kids and their behavior in the classroom and that teachers see a real difference when this is shown. The second body paragraph is the value of compassion in teaching. This is the second source, so it is sharing how this can really change people's lives, and it's important to not only teachers, but also the kids, and also it can actually be important to their parents. And you may not really think about that, but they're a big part of their education as well. And it's teaching them to not only care for themselves, but for one another, which is super important, and obviously they're in an environment with tons of other kids, so it's not only important for them to take care of themselves, but to be really kind to everyone else. Also, ways to practice compassion outside of your classroom so that you're a pro. I thought that aspect of the article was really cool, so I wanted to include that. The body paragraph number 3 is empathy in the classroom. Why should I care? So this is benefits of empathy in education and also talking about why you should show it, like handful and helpful resources for learning empathy, which I think is really cool. And if you're a teacher and you want help on that, and there's tips and tricks to become more empathized to your students, how to connect to them more emotionally. The body paragraph number 4 is ways teachers can show they care. This is the 4th source, and it's listing all different ways and giving details with each one, showing numerous ways that we can provide care with not only just teaching in your time frame. You can show care outside of your classroom in other times, like if students, for example, come to your room when they're eating lunch or before and after school if they need help in study halls, stuff like that. In the hallways, you can show that you care in other times because I know you have a short time period in your classroom. And then the next one is how to get the students to feel comfort towards you. If you're giving them compassion, you will want them to feel that they can talk to you as well, and trust. You will want to gain their trust and earn it really, because if you're showing them compassion and care and trust, then a big part of that is getting it back and receiving it so that they're kind of feeling the same way and that they're able to be comfortable in your class. The body paragraph number 5, which is the last body paragraph so far, and it's compassion in the classroom. This is the 5th source, and it is ending with this one. So I chose to end with this one because it almost ties pretty much everything together that I've talked about so far. So that's really great, and it has useful information that's relevant to the topic. it talks about how a single person effect is super important. So if you're one person, you can really make a huge difference in someone's life, and you may not realize it because you're just one person, but it's actually pretty cool what one person can do. I think that's an important thing that we should know, because if you're thinking that, oh, I'm just their teacher, like what can I really do for them, it's amazing how much teachers have really made a difference and how much they can change for someone. So the closing paragraph is bringing all the ideas back into play and showing why this topic is so important and what we can do, like just kind of summarizing it, and then tying in future goals for myself based on what I learned. So I'm trying to have a strong ending. So that's pretty much what I have so far, and I'm excited to see what you guys recommend. So thank you.